Hi there, welcome to Elite Yoga. I'm Clare, your instructor. Been doing yoga for over 30 years and teaching for over 20 years, including a lot of elite athletes. So my sport was I was a professional dancer. I've danced around the world. I've been a principal dancer of 2 companies, one in New York and one in Switzerland. And I've had my fair share of injuries and figuring out how to fix them. Definitely when you think that something's just going to heal and it doesn't. So it's really important that you have practices in place to keep you in your sport, to heal your body properly, and to also manage your body, especially if you want to be at a high level of performance. So today we're going to begin with a chair. So I'm showing you some different things that you can do that might be more convenient for you, or you just prefer because you can, for example, stretch your piriformis, lying on your back, sitting down. You can do it in pigeon pose. You can do it, sitting, lying. Okay, so there's many ways that you can do it. So today I'm going to show you how to do it seated. And so you might be even at work and you can just throw this in because you don't have to be really warm to do it. So if you sit on a seat, just a dining room table chair, then you're going to make sure that your butt's at the edge of the seat. So if you're small like me, you can sit up. So pressing down your sit bones, you're just going to put your right foot above your left knee. So you can see my foot isn't just like here on top of the knee, but just slightly across. Okay, so you're going to press down your sit bones, which is the base of your pelvis. Okay, and you're going to just pull your toes back, so you're flexing. You're in a dorsiflexion of your ankle, and then keeping your shoulders wide, lifting your mula bandha. You're just going to gently press down your right knee with your hand, so you're going to press down for 1, 2, a little bit further, 3, a little bit further, so it's very small, 5, and then relax. And again, pressing down 1, 2, press down your sit bones 2, 3, 4, 5, and then release. And a little bit further, 1, remember press down your sit bones at the same time, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. You're not going to be aggressive about it. It's like moving really slowly through water. And one more time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Okay, placing your feet together, crossing your left foot above your right knee. Notice if this knee starts higher than the other knee, and that means that your piriformis is tighter on that side. Okay, so we're going to press down your sit bones, pull back your toes, foot is just slightly across your knee. And it's important that you don't have a lazy foot, okay, because this is your shin bone, comes into your knee. Your thigh bone is from your pelvis to your knee, that bone. And so it's important that this is strong in this movement, okay, so that you don't hurt your knee. Okay, pressing down very gently, 1, a little bit more, 2, a little bit more, 3, a little bit more, and 5, and release. And go again gently, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. And 1, a little bit further, 2, 3, 4, press down your sit bones, 5, and release. And one more time, 1, feel what you're doing, rotating this thigh bone out, 3, 4, 5, and release. Okay, and you can do that anywhere, anytime, as long as you have a chair. So we'll stand up, and now you're going to face your chair, and you're going to put your feet together, And then we're going to put your right foot up on the chair. And then I want you to really feel your sit bones. So that's the base of your pelvis. You're going to pull down to the floor. And activate your glutes, lift your mula bandha, open your shoulders, and then you're just going to lean forward towards the chair, and you should feel a stretch here and then down, especially down also the inside of your left ankle. Roll your pelvis under a little bit, so hips to ribs, hips towards ribs. That's it. And you should feel that. Press down your left big toe, the base of your big toe. Okay, so it'll help you get into one of the other tendons there. That's really important in freeing your thighs. And then come on up and place your feet together, and then placing your left foot on the chair. And again, so you got your right foot pointing forward. Pull down your sit bones. Mula bandha, start to roll your pelvis under, glutes together, and leaning forward a bit. So you're stretching the right psoas, standing. And you'll feel how your psoas is affecting your ankle here. Okay? So the psoas is the one of your major hip, the psoas major and minor are your major hip flexors. It ties your leg to your spine. Okay, so make sure you feel it here at the front of your hip and at your ankle. You might need to go a bit further, tuck under a little bit more. Okay, and then come on up, still facing the chair, feet together, toes pointing forward, lifting up your right leg. Okay, so this height of a chair will not give me a stretch. Okay, I've been a professional dancer. I don't really feel this at all. So this is completely for your benefit. You might have to find that some of you might have to have a lower chair, like a stool or like a ottoman, or you might want to try it higher and put it on the table. Okay, but the main thing is that you press down your left foot, your sit bones press down. Okay, well, for this one, we're going to pull your toes back, and you're just standing. So I don't feel a stretch in my hamstrings because I'm not tight there, but I would need something higher anyways than this. I still don't feel a stretch yet because my hamstrings, that's why I do then a higher level of exercise, okay? But you make sure, cyclists are very tight in their hamstrings, that if you don't feel it at the lower level, try it at the high level. And if you can't do this with a straight leg, then you need to lower it, okay? Remember, your pelvis is down, okay? So that should feel it here. The hamstrings, got 3 of them. They're your back thigh muscles. Okay, then bend your knee, take your leg off. Okay, so start here, see how that goes. You don't feel anything, put it up higher. Sit bones down, right butt engaged, knee points up, toes point up. Okay, so sit bones down is the main thing. So that's the base of your pelvis. So your pelvis is level here as we stand. Lift your mula bandha. And it's also important that you are able to balance on your through your nervous system on one leg. Okay, so press down the foot that you're standing on, your big toe, little toe, heel. Big toe, little toe, and heel. Big toe, little toe, heel. Make sure you feel those points. The base of the foot. Okay. Bend your knee gently. Come on up. Okay, so there's one more standing one. And again, it's a good one for cyclists because you're particularly tight in all the leg muscles, the thigh muscles, is to put your leg, and this is a good chance to teach you about bone rotation. Now you're going to put your leg on the chair, but you're going to face your body forward. When we do something to the side of your hip, there is true side, which would be here, but then there's your personal side, which happens to be the rotation in your thigh bone inside your pelvis, external rotation. So How do you measure that? Your hip bones need to face forward. You get your leg as much to the side of your pelvis as you can without this happening. So for me, I actually don't have 90-degree rotation. Mine's there in my bones. Then my muscles turn out with it. So some people, especially if all you've done is ride a bike, you will have also made your muscles even tighter going in. So you might have to stand back and put your leg here in order to get your pelvis square pointing forward. Okay? So it's about you being in the right position first. Always the alignment is key. Okay, so you go to your side without locking your knee. You're going to pull up your kneecap and push away through your big toe like you're reaching it out to the side. And now you're standing on one leg, your leg to the side. If you don't feel it in your inner thigh and inner hamstring, then you can go higher. And again, for me, I don't really feel this. I need to do a higher level of exercise, but that's because my sport is professional dance. Okay? So for you as a cyclist, you're making these muscles contract a lot in a short range. So you will be tight, and that you will definitely feel. Lift up your mula bandha, and there your inner thighs and inner hamstrings. So we'll have to face the other way. Actually, no, I'll move the chair. And we'll place your left leg again. So here's the first position. Remember, if this is too high and you have to do this with a bent knee, lower. It's fine to have something lower. It's about being in the right position. So your hip bones are square. Sit bones point down, press down your right foot. Put it up higher if you don't feel anything. Okay? So learn how to do it properly, and then you can take it away and you can do it every day if you want. You might like this one. There are different ways for you to, they're different postures, but there are also different ways for you to do things so you don't get bored, but also so that your muscles don't get stale, used to things. Okay, so sit bones down, should feel it through inner hamstrings and inner thigh muscles. Okay, all right, then bend your knee, come off the chair. Okay, so that's it with the chair for the moment. We're doing those 4 exercises. So we're going to come back to your mat, and we're going to come down onto your back. Okay, so we're going to do our simple twist. So you start with your legs in the line, not out to one side, okay, or not like this. So your legs are in line with your tail. Your feet are in line with your tail. And then engage mula bandha. You're going to lift your left knee to a 90-degree angle. Right hand on the outside of your left knee and your left arm out to the side with the palm up. You're going to rotate your pelvis slowly to the right, keeping the backs of your shoulders gently down and pressing down. So that's an action. Pressing down. Okay, press your sit bones down towards the front of the mat and reach out through your fingers with the back of the elbow down on the floor. Lifting your mula bandha, relaxing your head, and have a feeling like you're standing on the floor. Like we did before, it's like your head's stretching up and the sit bones are stretching down. Okay, pulling your mula bandha, come on back, and other legs. We're going to lifting up your right knee and place your right arm out to the side in line with your shoulder. Not here, that's not where your shoulder height is, that's your shoulder height. Left hand on the outside of the knee, rotating your pelvis to the left. Backs of the shoulders rolling down, lifting your mula bandha. So they're the muscles from your tail to the navel, draw in and up. So it's the muscles underneath the pelvis, inside the pelvis, and at the front of the pelvis. That's your center. So I go through those slowly in our subscription service. The core of the body is really important to understand and to practice, and just putting a bit of time into it will really increase your performance forever, more and more. That's where your energy comes from. Come on back using the mula bandha. Feet down on the floor. Now we're going to twist. So we did This motion, remember, on the seat of pressing the knee forward. So now we're going to put both arms out to the side and keep that feeling of the knee pressing, like as if you had your hand on your knee, and we're going to rotate your pelvis to the left. So backs of the shoulders down, back of the elbows down, reaching out through the middle finger, that's the center of the hand, and draw your shoulder blades down towards your hips. Stretch the crown of the head up towards the top of the mat lightly, and lightly press your left knee down if you get all the way. Then pressing your right big toe down if you get all the way. Remember, as if your hand was gently pressing the knee that way towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to pull in your mula bandha to come back and place your foot down. So this is really important for your sciatic nerve, okay, to release the muscles that this sciatic nerve runs through and turning the pelvis to the right. So for most people, the sciatic nerve runs through your piriformis, and some people actually runs under, but for the general population, it runs through, which is why if you have a tight piriformis, and you can get that from doing something like cycling, where you are sitting on it and for a long time and pushing resistance as well, it just gets really tight like a ball. So it's important that you do these stretches and know how to do them properly, because when you do them properly, that's it. Get on with your day. You don't have to do 1,000 other stretches if you know how to do them properly. Pressing the knee forward. Okay, so when that gets pinched, that nerves create pain or impingement, really, and then it actually does affect the function of your leg then. Okay, so it is actually creating a potential for injury because those nerves aren't flowing freely from your brain through to down your leg through the piriformis. Come on back. And that's that. Okay, let's take your strap, and like we did standing, we're going to do, so think about it as if you had your leg on the seat, right? So if you had your leg on the seat and you were feeling a stretch, that would have been about here, okay? That's where you're going to put your strap, okay? Because that, otherwise, you're actually missing your muscles. Remember, no one cares. This is about you, getting better and to understand it and to fix and heal your body. So, no one cares how high your leg is. Sit bones press down to the front of the mat. Crown of the head lengthens up. Left glutes are engaged. Shoulders are wide. You're not pulling on the strap. You're gently spreading your toes into the strap and pressing the big toe away. Once you've got alignment, it's your muscles from the tail to the navel pulling in and up that pull your leg towards you while you're pressing away. And this is really important because we're not pulling on your leg. We are creating elastic, strong muscles. Okay, that's what yoga is, elastic, strong muscles. You're not lying around, sitting in, with your legs all relaxed. That's bad for your muscles. And you're not hyperextending joints, really bad, and create injuries to your ligaments. Okay, so from there, we're going to take the strap in the right hand. Now, you'll recognize this as where we stood up and had your leg to the side. If your leg was down here, that's where it is. Remember the rotation in your hip. That's my rotation. There, okay? So, go to the place where you start to feel a stretch. Open your shoulders. Press out through your big toe like we did at the chair. Making sure your pelvis stays where it is. Your left glutes are holding it there. Your knee points up here. Okay, come on back. Then everyone will lower their leg to 90 or less. Turn your leg in, and we're going to add something different today. We're actually going to invert your foot. See how my foot's dropping down? So it's a bit of a variation today. It's flushes out this sacral nerve in a different way and gives you a stretch at the outside of your ankle. And some people get really tight there. So you're going to sort of point your toes down and at the same time rotate your pelvis and lower back. Okay, this is fantastic for down the outside of your leg. Okay, and come on back. Okay, so other side. So we've got your left foot. Remember, you might be here. Okay, most likely there because that's been your sport and what it has created. So pressing away through your big toe. Okay, pulling in, engaging your right glutes. Making sure that you open your shoulders. And then you're going to take the strap in your left hand, rotating the leg out to the side. And keeping your right glutes on, shoulders open, crown of the head up, sit bones down. So you're aware of the whole body in its correct position and alignment. And then within that you have action, like you're slowly stretching up through your head, slowly stretching down the pelvis, slowly reaching out through this big toe, and using your Woolabunda to come back. Lower the leg, flexing the foot, and pointing the toes down, taking the strap in the right hand, take the leg across, and then we're going to keep pointing toes down for a different stretch. Okay, press your sit bones down to the front of the back. And come on back. Okay, so come on up to sitting. And we're going to cross your legs like this, flexing your feet. So this is like what we did before sitting and what we've done on our back. So you're going to pull your toes back and cross your knees a bit more than what you think, but the knees are gently lowering down, okay? And then we're going to press down your sit bones and you're going to roll them back. So it's like your, so this is called a forward bend because your hip bones are rolling forward and your sit bones are rolling back. So you're going to lift those muscles from the tail to the navel, open your shoulders, and remember it's as if someone had their hands gently on your knees, gently lowering them really softly. Remember, there's no forcing. That will only create issues. Pressing your sit bones back so you're being in touch with your body, not forcing it to do something. You're where you're tight. And then come on up. And then you're going to keep your sit bones down and you're going to stretch both hands to the left corner, drawing your shoulder blades down and pressing down your sit bone with your knee gently moving down. And then you're going to come through the center. And then you're going to go to the other corner, shoulders wide, shoulder blades down, and you'll feel stretching through your QLs as well as your lower lats and your piriformis, that chain. Come back through center, carefully coming up, other leg in front. So your left leg's in front now. And now we're going to roll your hip bones forwards. Same thing as pressing your sit bones down and back. And if you want, you can put your hands there like this. You're not leaning, you're pressing down and back. and gently come up. Then you're going to place your hands to this corner, opening your shoulders. Then draw your shoulder blades down. That's very important, down to your hip. Okay, so accessing the lats that pull the shoulder blades down. And then walk through center. Open your shoulders. Hands to the other corner. Shoulder blades down. You'll feel stretching through here. QLs, piriformis, all that chain. Come back and carefully come on up. Then we're going to sit on the block. If you can't sit up with a straight back, you're going to put your bottom on the block like this. Right leg forward without locking your knee. Put your left foot on the other side of the knee. So it's really important that when you're on the block, you don't lock the knee. Press down your right heel, toes face up, knee faces up. Left foot presses down and faces forward. You're going to put your left hand behind your back like you're reaching around, and your right arm in front of this knee today. Open your shoulders, pressing down on your sit bones. If that's too awkward, you can do this. Your shoulder wide and your hand up. Pressing down on your sit bones, opening your shoulders, okay, and rotating your upper back now and your neck to the left. So when you breathe out, rotate a little bit more. Looking forward, other side. So left leg forward, right foot on the other side of the knee, left toes point up without locking the knee. Remember, you can put your hand up like this, reaching around with your right arm. Open your shoulders first, pressing down on your sit bones. Press down your right foot. As you breathe out, rotate a little bit more. And looking forward. This is a good chance for you to start using your breath to get further into a posture rather than force. Okay? And the breath takes you into the posture properly, actually. Okay, so there's muscles of exhalation, but also your rib cage is attached to your upper back, your thoracic spine. So it's important that all those things work together, and then you can feel in a twist how much, for example, your piriformis has if that's tight, that will restrict your upper back as well. So it really it shows you through feeling that how much your hip is affecting not just your lower spine, but your upper spine as well, through to your neck. That's why these postures are so important to learn how to do properly. Okay, so we're going to come off the block and we're going to come into a lunge. So you're going to put your right leg forward and your left leg back. And so your right second toe will point forward. Your knee is on top of your ankle for this one. Your toes are spreading and your left knee will point down. Your pelvis, the center of the body, rolls under like you're trying to roll your hips towards your ribs. Engage your mula bandha, engage your glutes. So the muscles from the tail to the navel pull in and up and squeezing your glutes. And you're pressing down on your right foot and you're spreading and pressing down on your left and you're pressing your left heel back. Crown of the head forward, open your shoulders. So your whole body's aligned. Then we're going to step back to downward dog. So we're going to have your middle finger pointing forward, your wrists straight. Don't be twisting or turning the wrist in. Okay, that's really important if you have created that cycling, that you undo it to realign your nervous system. And pressing down all these parts of your hand,
the base of your fingers. Outsides of your feet will be parallel to the edge of the mat, little toe to heel, and your feet will be a hip width apart for you. Now, before you get your legs straight, you're going to get your back straight. So you'll have bent knees with a straight back, okay? Lifting your butt up and back. Roll the outer shoulder down. Then we're going to step forward with your other foot, your left foot, and your pelvis comes down and under, shoulders wide, pressing down your left foot, engaging your glutes, and we're now in an active stretch for your right hip flexors, the major one being your psoas, and make sure your left second toe is pointing forward, that you're not turning the foot in or out. Okay, stepping back to downward dog. So we've done a long stretch for your psoas here. Soft elbows, widen shoulders as much as you can, then roll the outer shoulder down. Your armpit goes down to the floor. This is the best back stretch you can do, downward dog. Lift your sit bones up and back. Okay, so we're now going to come up to standing, and we're going to place your feet a meter apart. You're going to turn your right leg out 90 degrees, so that your second toe points out, and your left toe's in 5 degrees. Unlock your knees. Rotate the right thighs out. Lift them up without locking your knee. Then you're going to press your pelvis to the left. So you're going to feel a stretch here. But a lot of you can't get past this. Okay, so that's fine. That's where you're tight. Okay, so we're going to press your pelvis to the left, opening your shoulders to the front. Remember, your right thighs are turning out. Shoulders are open to the front, like so. We're going to keep your hand on your hip today. So you recognize that your shoulders opening wide to the front, crown of the head towards the blind, so away from your tail, and pressing your pelvis down to stand up. It's a really unique stretch and very great for cyclists because of the amount of, when you do a lot of that speed work where you turn your knees in, this will get very tight. These outer hip muscles, okay, the muscles that turn your knee in, okay, start at the hip. So rotating your thighs out, lifting them up without locking your knee. Pressing, so learn how to do this right. I'll go through this each week, okay, and I go through it slowly again in the subscription service. Okay, so you're pressing your pelvis out. That's what starts to separate the muscles. Hand down, open shoulders. You're not leaning. You could take your hand off anytime, reach it out. Okay, you'll press, the force is in the center of the body, and your pelvis is the center of the body. And the muscles that control the pelvis are your mula bandha, tail to navel, in and up. Coming up by pressing your pelvis down. Okay, so then we're going to place the outsides of your feet parallel to the edge of the mat. Soft knees at the back. Lifted knees at the front. Take your hands behind your back, rolling your shoulders outwards. And then you're going to suck in from the tail to the sternum, and you're going to roll your hip bones forwards. But now we're not going to be seated, we're standing. This is a standing forward bend. At no time do you go floppy, you're extending and pressing. So your feet are spreading and pressing down, making sure you feel your big toe underneath here. Big toe across your little toe, inner and outer heel press down into the floor while you lift your sit bones up without locking your knee, so you get this perfect stretch all the way down the backs of your legs. Okay, and pressing down your pelvis to come up. Okay, so then we're going to put your right foot forward and your left foot will face the left corner of the mat. Make sure you're not too long here, that you're, fine. You should be about 1 meter apart and maybe even a little less than that, okay? Second toe points forward. These toes are pointing to the corner of the mat, so these thighs also have to point towards the corner of the mat. They're turning out. Unlock your knee and pull up your kneecap. Start with your glutes together so you organize your pelvis standing. And then you're going to roll your pelvis forwards and then switch off the glutes. No more glutes. So you're going to lift your butt up to the ceiling. Up. And you'll feel all the way down from your sit bone, down the back of your leg. And you feel how much your piriformis has affected your hamstring, your calf muscles, your Achilles tendon, and your flexor hallucis longus. And then bring your pelvis down to stand up, nice and slowly. Other side, left foot forward. Right foot faces the corner of the mat. Second toe is facing forward. Make sure you're not twisting like this. Your hip bones like headlights pointing forward, but the thighs are turning out. Right thighs out, hip bones forwards. Glutes together so you're organized while you're standing. And then no more glutes. Turn them off. Don't squeeze your bottom anymore. Roll the pelvis forwards. And now you'll feel all the way down from here, your sit bone, down the back of your leg, your sternum's reaching forwards, and all the way down the back of your leg. Shoulders back, press down your big toe, press down the other, all the ball of your foot, and press down to come up. And that is your session today. I'll see you next week. Thank you.